What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mick Thinks Tiny. My name is Mick. Container homes are a fantastic option for anyone that's looking to go tiny or anyone that's looking to create a tiny house Airbnb. Today, we're talking to Bill. We're welcoming Bill back onto the channel. Bill is the creator of Llama House, which is an awesome shipping container in Dahlonega, Georgia, and it is all done and it's ready to go and it's going live on Airbnb soon. So we've got an extended walkthrough for you guys. I'm excited for you all to check this out. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and let's get into it. Let's check out the Llama House. All right, I'm here again with Bill. Bill, thank you so much for being back on the channel. Bill is the owner of Llama House, which is a really awesome shipping container Airbnb in Dahlonega, Georgia. Bill, if you don't mind just taking us through and letting us see everything that you've done, talk about what you've been up to, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for having me. I'm glad we got to do this as a follow-up from before. So hopefully, if anybody hadn't seen that before, they go back and watch the first episode, which is kind of like an interview, right? And then, so at this point, we finished up. So I got everything done, and we'll be listing the container tomorrow. So it'll actually go live on Airbnb and be open for booking. So it took a little bit, but now that everything's done, we're ready to go. So how would you like me to start? You want me to start outside and then I can walk out the side door here and then we can come through the front and then kind of just walk through everything. How's that
Yeah,
sound?
sure. Yeah, that
Yeah?
works.
Okay, cool. Let me pick us up and go. I'm going to flip you around. We'll actually go out the side door here so that you can see the fire pit area. So I'll just stay up on the deck here. But this is our these are our steps going down, and as you can see, we left the tree in the middle of the stairs. So we didn't want to get rid of it. We thought it'd be a cool feature to have that, and then it's part of our string lights that we have down here in our fire pit area. So all of this was I built up all the fire pit area using the dirt from the foundation. So we packed that all in, and then there's a rock wall behind it that holds it up with rocks all from the property. And then all the trees that you see down here used for the bench and the stools and whatnot is from a tree that I had to take down before we started the build. But then you have your little walkway that comes up here, and we got some other ones that go up to the driveway and pretty good time to catch it. So we're almost at sunset time. So when you come up to the driveway, you'll come into our parking area up here, and then you'll come down the steps right up to the front doors.
That's awesome. I like that you left the tree for the stairs. I feel like it
Yeah,
kind of like I don't know, it just looks so natural. Like if you look all the way out and you see all the other trees there too. So it
yeah,
looks really cool that you just kind of kept it the way that it was. Like it's a really cool thing to have like as kind of like a feature. Like I think it totally works.
yeah. And the other thing that I did was we used the cable railing for the railing, but it's black vinyl wrapped. So as you can see, it makes it almost like it's invisible. So if you look at a distance, you're just seeing straight into the woods, and you're not, you don't
Okay.
see the silver wires like you would normally see with the regular cable. And then these are the doors. So these are the actual container doors. So I left the container doors, and what I did was I cut out the middle of the door, and we put a piece of glass in there. So this is a 7 foot by 3 foot piece of 1 inch glass in each one of these, and then it's the same thing on the other end when you come out the bedroom. So,
I
and then of
like that.
course,
Awesome.
yeah,
Like for like all the light to come through and honestly it's just a cool element to have, like to have that indoor outdoor feel when you're just sitting there chilling on the couch.
yeah, yeah. Lots of light that comes in from that, and then all the windows and stuff. So we'll see that here in a second. And then coming in, you'll walk into the living room. And then this is all just a feature wall that I built out of live edge wood. So this is all live edge
Oh, cool.
pieces, and I mounted it up there. And this is actually backlit with LED. So there's LED
Sweet.
that runs on the inside edge of each one of these.
Cool. Very
And
cool.
then it frames my llama pick. So you can see.
Nice. I was gonna mention that I like the llama.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, and it comes down to a back table for the couch that I built. So this is just something that I built out of 2x8s um, to have back here for you to set your drinks on and whatnot. And then it has a charging pod on the end, so it has a wireless charger and then a place for you to plug stuff in, regular plugs and USBs. And then we have a pull-out couch. So the container's one bed, one bath, but you can sleep four because we'll be able to pull out the couch and pop it up. And then you can also just use this if you want to as a little hangout spot to watch movies or whatnot. And then we also have I put the curtains up so you can actually draw these. They're blackout curtains, so you'll get nothing from the side just in case you just want to be a little secluded. But yeah, so this is the view out the front door. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And then also speaking of windows, so the two other windows that we have, one here in the living room, and then there's one in the bedroom. These are 5 foot by 5 foot windows.
Nice.
So another big, huge piece of glass to let a lot of light in, and then it just is a good framing reference for looking out the fire pit area in the woods.
I really like
Um,
how many windows you put in there too. Like I think that the
yeah,
size of the windows is really great, but just the amount of light that you have coming in, considering that it's not like the brightest point of the day, is really great too for people.
yeah. It gets a lot of light, especially since the main time that it gets sun is midday, just because
Mhm.
of being surrounded by the woods. So I have the little kind of a bar table here. This is built out of live edge piece as well. So I I used a ton of live edge in here. So this is live edge wood. It's just cut and sanded down, and then just put legs on it to make a table so you can sit and eat or have your coffee or whatnot. And then this is our kitchen. So I have all retro appliances in the kitchen. You have a cooktop. So this is just a little induction cooktop. So it gives you enough to be able to cook stuff. Anything that if you just want to heat something up or whatnot. Then it has a undermount sink, and then all the shelving in the kitchen is live edge wood as well. So these are all just pieces that I cut down and made into shelves. So pretty
That's
cool.
cool. I like the countertops too. I like the color of the countertops.
Yeah,
I like the contrast with the black. Like I love the way that black counters look in homes in
yeah,
general. But I think it's a really classy look for Airbnbs too. It's good contrast with the light wood. So I think it's a really cool design that you picked out.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. And it came out really well. So this is all just butcher block, and then I stained it. And then the stains all match. So the stain from here, and then I have a piece sitting on top the fridge, and then the stain for the table in the back. And then I also restained the seats on these stools so that all of that matches.
Got it.
So everything is the same. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the kitchen is completely tiled all the way to the ceiling. And then heating and air in here is all done with a mini split. So it's a 12,000 BTU mini split, and it's just controlled by remote control, so it's really easy to take care of. And then, of course, right here is where we have our sliding glass door right in the middle. And this is a little bit bigger. So this is an 8 foot tall sliding glass door, so it's a
Oh
little
wow.
bit bigger than normal.
Yeah.
It goes almost to the ceiling. And then you'll come into the bathroom. So being that we have limited space, right? So we only have 320 square feet total, and there's not really a lot of cupboards and whatnot. So all the towels for guests will be right here. So towels, hand towels, washcloths, and then of course your hand towel for while you're in here in the bathroom. And this is all actual. This is wood. This is tile that looks like wood, I should say, and it goes all the way to the ceiling and then comes across and stops at the top. So just a little accent feature wall. And then on this side, we'll be able to
Oh cool. I like the tile work on
see.
that one. I like the darker
Yeah.
color.
Yeah. So this is the shower. So the shower has pebble floor with a hidden drain back there, as you can see,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
and then the little shower niche, and then all of it goes up to the ceiling as well. So pretty cool. And then just has that's like almost like a barn door style sliding glass door on the rails. And then pretty cool. I know it's kind of just a little thing, but the mirror. So the mirror might be hard to see on the
Oh,
video,
nice.
but the mirror
Yeah.
lights up. I call it a great selfie mirror. So if you want really good
Just gonna
lighting,
say,
you
yeah, it's
stand in front of
great.
here, and it changes colors and you can brighten it and whatnot. But it also has a defogger, so you can actually hit the defogger that way. Since it's such a small space, and we do have a fan in there that moves the air pretty good, but since it's such a small space, it keeps it clean while you shower. And then we got our robes. So the robes are hanging here in the hallway so that you can, kind of lounge around, and then you can also use them when you go out to the hot tub. And this is the bedroom. So king size bed, it takes up the basically the entire room, but it's pretty neat because you have, same thing again, just like the doors out front, 7 foot by 3 foot glass, and then your other 5 by 5 window is out here, and it just looks straight out into the woods. So it's just you in the woods.
It's a cool thing to wake up to though. Like I think it's awesome that you
Yeah,
put the king size bed in there. Like even if it does take up a good chunk of the space, it's an awesome feature for people. I
yeah,
feel like people are always looking for king size beds in their rooms, like when they're traveling. Like it's just an extra element of like comfort, and the windows almost
yeah.
all the way around is really cool too. Well,
Yeah, you're surrounded in here. And then this is just another accent wall that I built to kind of make it look like mountains with the two different colored stains offset. And then this is all backlit with LED too. I
oh
can
nice.
probably be able to see it because it's a little darker back here when I turn the light out. And then this is another piece of live edge that I use to make an end table for the bedroom. But yeah. Let me see if I can turn this out, and I'll crawl across the bed here real quick. I got the remote hidden over here. Let me back up and see if this. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Very cool. That's
So
awesome.
it's really cool kind of mood lighting to,
Yeah.
especially at night. It's nice, and then you can adjust the brightness of it if you want to dim it down or whatever, and then this is our other llama that we got here. Our little stuffed llama and a little blanket ladder, and gives you the ability to hang stuff over here. So we don't have a lot of space, but you'll have, be able to hang clothes or whatnot. And then you can also blackout curtain the doors over here. So if you need to do that, I'll open these up and we'll go outside. So this is where you'd step out of the bedroom and be able to get to the hot tub. And then what's really cool is these are the container doors that I cut out whenever I made the glass doors. So
Mhm.
I kept those pieces. So that's actually what was in the middle of here.
Yeah. Okay.
But I kept those pieces to make this wall. So all the metal that I cut out of the container for the glass doors and the windows, I used it all to make this wall so that it blocks out the neighbor's driveway goes past their house is back in the woods, but it goes past here. So this was the cool way to kind of block that all. So this is all pieces of the container. This is the piece that was cut out for the sliding glass door, and then these are the other two doors from out front
That's really
on the
cool.
other
It's a
side of
cool
the
way to
hot tub.
create like privacy. It's like it created a
Yeah,
sense of privacy, and you also get to talk about like make like you used all the different parts of the container home, so like from like a
yeah,
less waste standpoint too. I think that was really smart.
yep, yep. So we didn't waste anything, and then we got the hot tub here. So it's a 4-person, well, 5-person hot tub.
Looks pretty big. Looks kind
That's
of massive.
yeah, it's a decent size one. And yeah, it's really cool. And then of course we have the deck. So the deck is over 1,000 square feet, counting both of them. So we have the main deck that we're on right now, that of course has the steps that goes down to the fire pit. But we also have really cool the spiral staircase. I just love spiral staircases. I don't know anybody that doesn't really like them. You know what I mean? So, but we'll go ahead and walk up. It's pretty cool up here because it gives you a great view, and we're doing this at a great time because this will be almost sunset, right? So you'd be able to chill up here on the deck and watch the sunset over the hill, and then you can kind of get a little view of the landscaping here coming up the driveway, and then the stone that we used to build up the wall and whatnot. So on this end of the container, at the top, we did bar seating. So these are kind of like outdoor heavy duty resin chairs, and then put the bar here so that you can have a great view, have some drinks or something at the end of the day, and then kind of just look out into onto the property.
It's very cool.
And you're close enough to the trees. We can reach out here. We can touch the trees. They're coming over here. And then I also have up here, we did these are what they call zero gravity loungers. So if we get some people that want to come lay out on the deck, hang out and chill up here, you can do that as well. And it also has a great view of our wall and our hot tub from above.
That's cool. I really like the deck. I like that. I like the idea.
Yeah,
Haven't seen too many that do the rooftop deck, so it's a cool thing that
yeah,
you thought of because that just gives people extra space to relax. It's a cool place to wake up in the morning and drink your coffee, that sort of thing. So start or end
yeah.
your day there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Was it's just a neat space to come up and have just have an awesome vantage point to be able to see stuff. And then in the winter time, back behind us here, you'll actually be able to see the mountains when the trees lose their leaves. So there's a couple back there on the back side of the property, and in reverse of where you come up the driveway. So pretty cool spot. I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I like the top deck the most or if I like the fire pit, the area itself the most. So
Those look pretty
a few
cool.
cool spots. Yeah. And then we also have our piece of tree here underneath. It's right underneath the spiral staircase, just as an accent piece as well.
That's cool.
So, but yeah.
That's awesome. Now that
So
you've
that's it.
finished everything, what
Yeah.
do you think like what's the main takeaway you have from this experience? Like, because you built everything. It's not like you did all the you laid it out, designed it, and you came up with all the ideas. You put a lot of time
Yeah.
and effort into it. I'm sure that someone watching is going to want to try to do something similar. What's the main takeaway you have after now that you've finished it?
Yeah, one of the big things is, you have to be agile as far as I'm gonna walk back inside because I think they're gonna
Sure.
cut some of the grass on the field over there. Um, you have to be agile and be adaptable, to kind of change up your plan if need be. You're gonna run into things and you're gonna be like, man, you might want something a certain way, but not be able to do it for one reason or another. So, that happened a couple times. For me, and just a great example of that is just looking out the front door here. So there was actually more trees out here where this line of trees is that actually came closer to the container. But when they were putting in the septic tank is out here in this field, and it kind of wraps around out there. And when they were putting that in, and the inspector came and they wanted it moved up higher, they wanted the tank to sit up here instead of down here. So in doing that, they had to take out more trees. You know what I mean? And it's little things like that. I know that's kind of just maybe insignificant at this point, but And I'm gonna try to flip this around so you can actually see me. But it's stuff like that that you can't account for, but may happen. So that's one of the big things is there's things that are going to change, there's things that are going to happen that are out of your control that you just have to then adapt and figure out, okay, well, this is just going to look a little different and it's going to move forward that way. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. I think that's really good advice because I do think that people are watching other people build container homes. They're seeing things on social
Yeah.
media and they're
Yeah.
not seeing, the entire process. So they might think, okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go buy a container. It's going to be super easy. It's going to cost
Yeah.
next to nothing. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to like
Yeah.
blow up on Airbnb and they're going to be disappointed when things are just like really difficult or like it doesn't cost as little as they thought. So I think that's a really good
Yeah.
advice to just tell people to just expect the unexpected and be okay with that.
Yeah, and plan for it to take more time, plan for it to cost more than whatever it is you plan
Mhm.
out. Just because if things do change along the way, you know what I mean, there's some type of cost that's going to be associated with it. Some of it's expensive, some of it's not expensive, but it adds up. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you build that in, and also the time thing. So I thought that I could get it done in a lot less time than what I did, and I
Mhm.
was just unable to do so. Working, and I think most people be in that situation where they're working a W-2 and they're trying to do this as well. But doing that and then the travel time between where I live and to get here, it just kind of adds up over time. And yeah, I can tell you, I spent as much waking time as I possibly could between working a job and being here to finish it. It was really all I did for a whole year. So, um, that if you're not taking that into account, you're like, hey, I want to, I got a party to go to on the weekend, or I got a trip I'm going to go on, or whatever. But you want to get this done, this is going to take you longer. You know what I mean? So you have to keep that into consideration as well.
No, I think that's again, that's really good advice, and that's a good point too. Like, I think again, people don't really know. They only see the finished product, right? Which is why I think it's
Yeah.
really important for people to ask questions. Like, we've talked about before when you did your previous video on the channel. Like, you got to ask
Yeah.
questions because you really don't know what you're seeing on social media really isn't. It's really like a snippet. It's like the
Sliver.
very end of this really lengthy, expensive process. So I appreciate
Yeah.
you just being really honest with people because you're going to save someone a lot of headaches and
Yeah.
people can prepare for it in like the right way, which I think is really really helpful. People don't have a lot of
Yeah.
time nowadays, so it's good for them to just be, to know what's up and what's going to happen and how long it's going to take.
And you need to talk to people too. I mean, there's a bunch of different people who have built containers or are building containers and stuff like that I've reached out to, and for the most part, I've had a really good reception of having people just offer advice or be able to tell me different things or answer questions and things like that. So it is, to me, it is a community that's very willing to share and to be helpful.
Mhm.
So be willing to do that and try to meet and talk to as many people as you can. So I think that will also help people out a lot as well. You know what I mean? So you can find out some things that you don't know, because not, from what I see, not every single container build is the same either. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, of
Each
course.
one has something different. Each one has something unique. The companies that are building them are doing things one way. Another company is doing things another way. So there's no one set process or one way of do things. So there is a lot of times when you just kind of have to figure things out as well. You know what I mean? And just use your ingenuity to come up with exactly how you're going to go forward.
Mhm. It's fair. I think again, I think that like people can't really ask too many questions. It's something I think
Yeah,
is really important. You really
yeah,
can't reach out to too many people, and you never know
correct.
what could come of those connections and those conversations down the line. So I think that it's worth it. And again, I think
Yeah,
this community of people in like the tiny house container space, regardless of how big the industry gets, the community of people who are like trying to build them or advocate for people or living in them, it's always going to stay kind of small. So it is a
Mm.
smaller group of people that you have that you can reach out to. And I think that makes it easier for people to be willing to share their knowledge and their experience too.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's other aspects too, right? I mean, it's just people who already run Airbnbs or people who manage Airbnbs, you know what I mean? Or short-term rentals, however you want to call it. But because you can take from them too if that's what you're going to turn it into, or is it somebody that's actually living in one? You know what I mean? If you're looking to just build a tiny home and live in it, then you should be talking to people who are living in it, right? Because it's obviously an adjustment going from a house or a regular sized type building to something that's this small. And what is surprising about this is only 320 square feet, but it does not feel small when you're in it, right? So this is mine's a high cube container, so instead of being 8 by 8, it's 8 feet by 9 foot 6. So it does have a little bit taller of a ceiling, but it doesn't feel small when you're actually in it. And I've had some people come and stop by and they were like, wow, I expected it to be more kind of claustrophobic, and it's not that way at all, right? And it also comes some with design. So using more windows, using more glass and stuff like that. But the only thing that I don't really have in here is a washer and dryer, but that's something that you could easily build into something in this space, right? I mean, you can even do a smaller fridge, and they have a washer dryer that's all in one, so you can just have one unit here with a drain hooked up to it, you know what I mean, and water access. But um, yeah, it's definitely doable.
It's awesome. And I appreciate you taking time to chat with me again and be back on the channel and talk to people and show
Yeah,
everyone your hard work. Like, I'm super excited for you to have it go live tomorrow. I'm excited for people to check it out, and links to everything. They'll be able to go and check it out and hopefully book their stay and enjoy the llama photos and the view and the rooftop deck and everything that you've done.
yeah.
So I'm super excited for you, and I'm excited for people to check it
Thank
out.
you.
So it's awesome. I think you've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for having me on the channel. We can do a follow up in the future and see how things are
Yeah, of
going,
course.
right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, how did it turn out? What's happening? Is anybody coming to stay here, or is no one coming, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be good too.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm up for it. So yeah, whenever you want to come back on, you're welcome to come back on.
Awesome, thank you so
Thank you,
much. I
Phil.
appreciate it.
All right, that's the Llama House. I appreciate Bill taking the time to walk us through sort of like an extended tour. You got to see all the beautiful features, all of the hard work that Bill put into everything that they're doing. Make sure that you check it out. It's live now on Airbnb. I'm super excited for those of you who are interested in learning about container homes, doing your own short-term rentals. Those of you who are looking to go tiny, have never stayed in a tiny house. This is a fantastic opportunity for those of you who are interested in doing any of those things. So make sure you check it out. And thanks again, Bill. If you're new to the channel, please do take time to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And if you have not seen Bill's original interview on the channel, you can check it out here. Thanks so much, guys. Don't forget to think tiny, and I'll see you guys in the next one.